Hey, what's up, Carlton? It's been a while, hasn't it? This is a video in response to your killing the game industry. I couldn't agree more with some of what you said, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. One of the biggest things for me is exclusivity. Sorry, that's a hard word to say, I guess. But yeah, I don't like how they're promiscuous with games that used to be exclusives for a system that would get you to want to buy that system. One of these would be Grand Theft Auto. I bought PlayStation 2 because of Grand Theft Auto 3. It was not available on GameCube. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, it was not available on GameCube. It was not available on Xbox at the time. And it certainly was not available on any of the older systems, you know, other than PlayStation, but that game was kind of a joke. So, I mean, I bought a PlayStation 2, fell in love with Grand Theft Auto 3. It was something my best friend and I did all the time for a whole summer. That's how we met, essentially. It's how we spend most of our time. And then his parents would yell at us and make us go outside, so we'd ride our bikes and drink vanilla Coke. But then we'd come back and play Grand Theft Auto 3. And we would take turns. It was called Busted Twice. Sorry, that's my phone. It was called Busted Twice, Wasted Once. And what that means is you could play, do missions, mess around. I don't know if we're allowed to swear. Are we allowed to say, like, fuck on here? Anyway, but we would play until we got either busted by the cops. You weren't allowed to use cheat codes or anything, but you could get wanted stars if you knew where they were. And you got wasted. If you died, health and armor, that type of thing, well, switch. We would just pass the controller. So, it's a little bit about Grand Theft Auto. Exclusivity. We'll go with that. Another topic is I'm getting really sick of older games. Yeah, older games being better than newer games. I mean, what the fuck is up with that? Spider-Man 2. They just came out with The Amazing Spider-Man this past summer in July. The movie was pretty good. We can agree on that, right? But the game was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. I've only played through it once. I want to play through it more. But it was very comical. It definitely went to the roots. They were able to do things in the game that they couldn't do in the movie or didn't have the budget or the time for, as well as the game picked up where the movie left off. So you have the story of the movie and then a whole new story. It's just completely different. It's like what happened, you know, what happened after. Dr. Connors got arrested and stuff like that. The movie ends on the rooftop and then it goes to the romantic Gwen Stacy stuff, but in the game it's really awesome. You can do some really amazing things, and your suit gets all cut up, and the effects, like when you're in a battle, or if you're like in a sewer, that's their version of dungeons, sort of. You can go in a few buildings or a few sewers, and if you're playing in the mission and you get beat up in the sewers or something, you have a big fight, and you come out, your suit will be all cut up and it'll be epic, and then you continue to play the missions, and the more damage you get, the more your suit. It's just epic, man. You're swinging around and there's rips everywhere. His head, everything. It's awesome. But the game, I mean, Spider-Man 2, run up the wall at different speeds. This game, you can run up the wall and you do a default little thing, and it's just like and then you run. But that's all default. You don't control when you do the thing, you know, it just happens. Spider-Man 2, you could crawl. You could crawl up a building, but then you could hold a button down and crawl faster. So if you did want to crawl, you know, he looked like a spider doing it. It was pretty cool. But if you did want to look like, I mean, if you did want to crawl, you could. Not this game. No option to crawl. If you do, well, you can crawl. But if you crawl, it's fucking molasses. You're so slow, and it's not stealthy at all. I mean, you crawl, it's a little glitchy when you get to the top or the edge of a building, and you try to go over it, but there's dudes up there with guns. You can't be stealthy, really. So I usually will swing really high and then come in from the top. So that's let's get back to point here. I'm sick of older games or the first installment of a series of games being better than the later games. What about technology? Aren't we able to do more things as technology progresses? I mean, graphics get better, but the shit inside the game, the mechanics of it that make it fun. Sometimes, I mean, I would love to be at those staff meetings, man. I would love to be at the board of directors or whatever, who they pay people to test these games, and I would love to sit there, and they're like, yeah, so what should we add? And I'd be like, I got this whole list of shit that you should add, guys. I mean, duh. But so I'll never be able to say that damn word. Being exclusive, elements, old versus new, and I guess the last and final thing would definitely have to be free roam. Not every game has to be linear, and I don't really understand the mechanics or what goes into making a free roam game versus a linear game. I do know that free roams typically take longer to make, but no one wants to be constricted. I mean, yeah, some people say in Skyrim that they don't even know what to do. Well, I don't know what the hell that means, because you constantly have a quest marker and you go to it and it tells you what to do. I've never had a problem with it. Or you can turn it on and off. If you want to free roam, if you don't want quest markers and you just want to do whatever the hell you want, you can. You can go to any town, you can discover shit, you can kill whatever you want. You can try and kill almost everyone unless they're a quest character. But you can do whatever you want in that game. We need more games like that. There's a lot of cool games, like the Iron Man. I sort of commented on your status about this before. Iron Man needs his day in a video game. A real fucking awesome thing. The Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, PlayStation 2, I think, as well as other, maybe Xbox, I'm not sure. Free roam, open world, third person, not linear. You weren't stuck in some damn dumb warehouse or stupid shit. It was pretty awesome. Spider-Man 2, even Superman Returns for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I don't know. It's kind of hard to remember. It feels like every game is multi-platform these days. But even that game, shit as it was, kind of crappy. Open world. Alright, man, those are just a few things. I think my girlfriend's coming home. But those are just a few things that I would say. Take care, man. Keep those videos coming.